I've heard a lot of YouTube animators talk about school stories that happened to them on playgrounds, but nothing specifically about play structures. Which is kind of sad because these things were so peak. You could play Floor is Lava, Sandman, Structure Tag if you had a good structure, and if you didn't have friends, you could just do whatever the hell you wanted. I remember as a kid, I thought all the kids that could jump off the highest opening were so cool, so I just spammed jumping off lower points until I could do it without face planning. Alright, so I have two stories for you today about times I got hurt on the play structures, or more specifically, times I was brutally attacked on them. The first story includes this chud we'll call Flabio. I can make a whole video about him, but essentially, he was only in the same grade as me for SK, and he was known for being the biggest dickhead in senior kindergarten. He'd always just attack people and steal their toys for no reason, and that sort of thing. Anyway, I was chilling on the play structure, minding my own business, and I was kind of near the opening of the kind of chain laddery thing that was kind of like, and I was just staring at it for like no reason, when this Flabio guy decides it's my turn to feel his assholery. That didn't come out right. Anyway, I distinctly remember him putting his hands near my shoulders and pushing me off, and then plummeting headfirst towards the ground. So for how things were looking, it seemed like I was going to break my neck, but because this push wasn't very hard, I stayed kind of close to the structure. That caused my head to fit perfectly into one of the squares, and my shoulders hit the sides of the ropes, stopping me from smashing my head into the ground, and I flipped my body onto the floor. I don't really remember what happened next. I think I just brushed it off and avoided that guy for a while. I'm pretty sure there were no teachers who saw or cared enough to help the kid who kind of just like got put in a noose, but whatever, I survived. In this next story, I was like 8 or 9, and we were playing outside for gym class, I think. I don't know, I just know it wasn't a recess, and we had a sub. Anyway, we were playing, sure, you can go on the structure, you little shits, just stay away from me. When I ran into the structure. Just as I was reaching the end of the structure, a girl decided to jump from the top of the structure. This timing resulted in her perfectly landing directly onto my head, causing me to collapse. Her shoes also added the side effect of spraying a bunch of sand into my eyes, which gave her a 1.2 damage multiplier. I've always prided myself with the ability to tank a hit, especially as a kid. Ha ha ha, no damage. But I think the mixture of sand and, I don't know, being hit in the head with at least 334 newtons of force made the tears come out pretty fast, which then drew in a huge crowd and made the sub show up, which made me cry more from embarrassment. I remember explaining to the teach what happened, and the girl said that I was lying and she only landed on my shoulder, which high-key pissed me off because, bitch, if you landed on my shoulder, I wouldn't be taking sand damage to the eyes right now, and I'd have at least 1% less brain damage. I think I just glared at her, and I was probably on some, no, actually, you did land on my head. I honestly don't know what happened next. The sub probably didn't care since she realized I wasn't dead, and let everyone go back to playing. Anyway, that's gonna be it for my play structure stories, and I'll catch you in the next one, especially if you're a turtle. Ooh. Alright, it's, what the hell was that? Alright, it's end card time. Recently I saw some of my friends I haven't seen in a few years, and we decided to go play in a play structure. That's kind of why I'm making this video. And it was honestly peak. I know I'm kind of old, but since I did parkour and being like older, playing on the play structure, we played Sandman, was actually so fun because we were able to do like crazy stuff we could have never done when we were younger. And yeah, so go play on the play structure even if you're like in Uncanal, because it's kind of fun. Unless there's kids on it, obviously don't be weird. And yeah, I have a lot more stories about like weird stuff that happened in the playground and play structure, so comment if you want a part 2 on that, and like and sub. Sorry this is going to be a shorter video. I'm doing a 20-day trip on the east coast of Canada, Newfoundland, which is going to be really peak, but I'm not going to be able to post during that time. And if all 3 of my first videos are out before like the end of August or September, that means I succeeded in animating this video in like 3 days fully and posting it, because I only have 3 days to make this before I leave on my trip, so wish me luck, I guess. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.